paradox. All right, guys, it's Jahlon, and it is the 29th of January, the end of the month, which means we have an Ashes of Creation live stream to go over. So let's get right into that. So what did we see today? We got a piece of huge news that will just continue to support the idea of community-driven development. This past month, Intrepid has been doing a developer discussion on login rewards, and that came about after the December live stream. Steven mentioned login rewards, and then the Twitch chat didn't seem very receptive to them. Today, Steven said he wasn't aware of the stigma surrounding these, and that he was kind of shocked about how the community felt. This has led Steven to change his mind about using them. He wants to move to something not as pressure tactic-y. Is tactic-y a word? I don't think that's a word, but we're just gonna let that go. In February, we're gonna see the launch of the new website, so that's gonna be a welcome change. Intrepid is working with a company called Valor Software to bring a better experience to the users. There's also going to be a shop redesign with that, so hopefully the items in the shop will become more clear. Margaret also touched upon the referral system, so hopefully in the not too distant future, we can see the reports of the success of the referral program. In the studio update, Intrepid is starting another round of hiring, and they are looking to bring on 30 or more new staff. Now, I keep seeing this thing pop up on YouTube video comments and in the Reddit and on different media places. Certain people don't understand there's actually 3 tiers of people in any organization. What you have is you have lead people, you have senior people, and you have junior people. Now, I'm not sure why, but people keep thinking that hiring senior people is a bad thing. There are people who are confusing leads with senior people. Senior versus junior just indicates how much experience you have. Intrepid hasn't really rotated that many lead positions in the 3.5 years. The leads have been in place for quite a while now. So when you see people making this big deal about the senior positions, set them straight and just let them know senior means people with experience. And why would you not want to hire people with experience? We also got treated to some in-game footage with Steven doing a little impromptu interview with Michael Bacon. I'm starting to get a little worried here. Steven might be cutting his content creator chops. For those of you who do not know who Bacon is, Michael Bacon is the lead environmental artist, and he has a long history in the MMORPG industry. I think listening to the entire interview is a good use of about 25 minutes of your time. I'm going to pluck out a couple of the highlights here, though. We found out there's going to be 18 biomes in the game. That's pretty impressive since there are like 10 biomes commonly accepted in the real world. And I like how they sort of justify that. They said it's going to be real world biomes flared with high fantasy. And on that, I'm sold. In Alpha 1, they're reporting that there will be 4 biomes: the savanna, floodplains, snow, and the tropics. Obviously, my NDA prevents me from talking about Alpha 1. When you're looking at this video footage, when it comes to the water stuff and the lighting, remember the polish hasn't happened yet. A lot of what you're seeing is raw, work in progress level stuff, because Intrepid is doing a actual developmental alpha. Now, when you watch this, you might also be thinking to yourself that the world feels empty. There's not a lot of mobs. There's not a lot of NPCs. There's not anything to be of a threat. You see, if you watch the whole thing, you're going to see a couple of crabs, a couple of monsters in a couple of places. Jeff commented that they won't do monster population or asset population until the area is 90% or more done with the environmental team. And this just makes sense because you don't need to be working on a little bit of population and then the environmental team has to make changes and then you end up with a lot of rework. So this makes sense. We got to see some more of the art, and we always see art, but we're seeing things across a wide spectrum. This month, we saw some interesting plants, and there's some more here than just looking at the plants. Steven was starting to hint at that. We also saw one of the early ship designs. This is the Flame Fin Frigate. We know this boat is designed to be crewed by a raid, so this is a 40-person boat. We got to see an in-game rendering of one of the cosmetic pieces. This is the Corvid Castigator, and we saw this as concept art. We then saw this as modeled art, and now finally we see this as an in-game shot. So we are seeing the gear develop. And Intrepid has also been updating the starter gear. They acknowledge that people want to see some of the later game gear, but they're in the middle of doing an audit and a rework on the starter gear. And this is something that you're just going to have to be patient with. They're not going to release everything until they're sure what they've started with, they're satisfied with. So I 100% understand people want to see level 50 gear to be paired off against these full body cosmetics, and that is coming. Finally, they did some upgrades on the hair, and this is a pretty good model. People are waiting to see the finishing touches in the development. One of the things Jeff said today is things don't look complete until all the pieces are in place. And for me, this is really a big one. The example I give all the time is a house that's being built doesn't really look like a home until the last 10%, until the carpet is in, the light fixtures, the trim, the blinds, the curtains, all that stuff is what makes a structure a home. And that's what the finishing pieces, like getting the hair right, that's that finishing piece that really makes the character look like a character. To talk about the Q&A this month, there wasn't a whole lot that came out of the Q&A today. In fact, most of the answers actually lead to more questions, and I'm going to try to follow up on some of these during my interview later this year. We did find out that the marriage system leads to a +1 into your family. So your family is you plus 7 other people, and then your spouse gets +1 in. Now, does that make your family 16 people, or does it make your family 7 + 1? We don't know. But what we do know is that this is going to radically change the family summon. And before things get out of control, yes, this is absolutely something I want to get an update from Steven on. We also know from today that they talked about the mailing of finished goods. Mails, social communications will happen instantly. They won't be delayed over time. But Steven hinted that they may allow the mailing of finished goods. Personally, I think this should be a developer discussion because I don't think that one branch of the artisan system should be allowed to mail their goods if the other ones can't. I think everybody should be restricted to the caravan system and the manual transportation of goods. For all the RPers out there, there will be chat bubbles so you can sleep peacefully tonight. We got a question about mules, but we didn't get a complete answer. We were told that if your mule dies, it will drop a portion of the goods it was carrying, like a person or a caravan, except a person drops a portion of their goods and respawns, and a caravan drops everything with a portion being salvageable. So again, this is one I want to do a follow-up on. We did find out that they want people to be able to edit, mark, and draw on the maps, which is a great thing, especially when you're trying to manage a group of people across a 480 square kilometer world with 100 square kilometers of Underrealm. And finally, on the topic of caravans, you won't be able to peek inside caravans to know what they're carrying. There will, however, be an indicator on the caravan as to what it might contain. This indicator will be present no matter if you're using a cosmetic skin or not. And that is it for today, guys. This live stream didn't give us a lot of nuts and bolts. It was pretty much a easy lead-in into next month. Now, I will tell you, Steven hinted at Alpha 1 sales opening at the end of February. I'm not quite sure what the lineup is. He hinted at it. It wasn't definitively stated. It's going to coincide with the launching of the website. I'm hoping what he was indicating is that they're going to take a look at it after the February Alpha 1 testing. Otherwise, we may end up with a lot of drama hoopla. Until then, guys, if you're looking for information about Ashes of Creation, you got Ashes 101 right over there. You have the wiki links in with there, so if you're on a given page, it'll take you to the wiki if you're looking for more. And I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Twitch. If you are looking to get some questions answered, swing on by. We can get into an in-depth discussion about your question. Until then, I got to get this to post-production, get it out for you guys, and then I will see you live on Twitch on Monday. So what we have here is an end screen. I'd like to say a big thank you to all those names scrolling up the right-hand side of the screen. Those are my sponsors over at Patreon. Wouldn't be able to pay the bills without them. For the rest of you, there's videos. Follow the channel, like, subscribe, do all those social media things.